The North Kohala community celebrated a moment years in the making here in Kapa'au on Saturday when the Mailile was untied on the Hawaii Wildlife Center. The Hawaii Wildlife Center is the first state-of-the-art response facility in the Pacific Islands exclusively for native wildlife. Operators say the Wildlife Center will provide the best achievable medical and husbandry care for sick, injured, contaminated, and orphaned native wildlife, including those affected by natural and man-made disasters. The center will then return successfully treated animals back to the wild. For Linda Elliott, the president and director of the center, it took a lot of work to reach this point.
We started this back in 1995 and ran a few hurdles, revived it in 2004 under the North Kohala Community Resource Center, where it incubated and took off in 2006 as its own nonprofit. We blessed the site. We had a groundbreaking, and in 2008 started the building. And today, in 2011, we're finally opening it. So it's huge. It's huge, and I think it really has been all about the journey. People tell you to pay attention to the journey, and I can get focused on the goal, but the journey has been incredible, and I have met some incredibly wonderful people. So thank you all for being a part of this. Where we're going to go from today is the excitement now. We're looking at staffing, getting our programs going, and getting the animals in here for care, and getting our native wildlife back out, and sharing that information with everybody on how you can all be a part of the solution.
A performance by Hula Halau Kalani Umi Aliloa o Hawaiʻi marked the occasion. The facility received a powerful blessing by Kumuhula Raylene Ha'alelea Kawaiʻaea. And a number of dignitaries were on hand to congratulate Linda Elliott and her many volunteers.
And from Governor Abercrombie, I want to present this proclamation. Whereas the Hawaii Wildlife Center protects, conserves, and assists in the recovery of Hawaii's native wildlife, and whereas the Hawaii Wildlife Center serves the Pacific Island region as the first state-of-the-art native wildlife response treatment, research, and educational facility, and whereas the Hawaii Wildlife Center facilitates injured wildlife to receive medical attention from local veterinarians along with volunteer and intern staff, and supports public education programs and the center, and whereas the Hawaii Wildlife Center will participate in wildlife relocation and restoration programs to stabilize the population of native birds, and whereas the Hawaii Wildlife Center will collaborate with airlines, volunteer pilots, and Civil Air Patrol for inter-island transportation of native birds, and whereas the Hawaii Wildlife Center will measure its success by monitoring the number of wildlife that are treated and released, the number of requests from the community for information about the Hawaii Wildlife Center conservation programs, and the number of visitors who enter the facility. And therefore, I, Neil Abercrombie, Governor, and I, Brian Schatz, Lieutenant Governor of the State of Hawaii, hereby proclaim November 19, 2011 as Hawaii Wildlife Center Day in Kapa'au.
Thank you very much, Linda, on behalf of all the people of this district and this island, for your efforts consistently for so long. This, I think, is a tremendous opportunity for all of us, for the state and for the county, to recognize a unique resource and facility, but also to recognize a unique resource that we have here in Miss Linda Elliott. Thank you very much, folks.
Seeing the potential for this kind of facility here, and I think that that kind of vision and that kind of buy-in, I think, is very important. But then also, reaching out to the community is also important. And I think looking around us today, we can see that that has also been done, that the community embraces this facility and buys into this idea of the rural communities here on the Big Island are the fact that the communities are so strong that they work together and that they continue to support each other. And we've learned this living on our own, and it's not like you can just get anything you want whenever you want it. It takes commitment and borrowing and working together to ensure that these things are fulfilled. So
I had so many letters, and I went, wow, this person knows how to get things done. So from that moment on, I became a fan of Linda Elliott's, and clearly it takes, again, what we've said so far, it's the perseverance to make this happen. That is why we're here today. So I want to thank you for the perseverance. And I think I'll just close in telling you what really strikes me today when I look around the room is this truly is also an intergenerational facility. It brings young people and everybody of all ages here, and it's going to be a big part of children's future education piece, learning about literacy, learning about science, learning about animals, biology. I mean, it's just this amazing educational facility. So, it's a real asset for all of us in the community, and I want to thank you. And thank you, everybody that showed up today to show that you believe in this too.
And I want to wrap up with, giving my personal commitment and promise that we are, as a department, looking forward to working with the center in ways that's going to allow for its financial stability going forward, because I think that's incredibly important. And together with the Department of Health, we look forward to meeting very soon and working some of these details out. So thank you again for the chance to be here. Thank you for being here also.
The facility is located directly behind Kohala Middle School and has already received lots of help from its students. Jim Kraus, manager of the Hakalau Forest National Wildlife Refuge, was also in attendance and said the new Wildlife Center will be an asset to the island.
I'm here on behalf of the Fish and Wildlife Service and the National Wildlife Refuge System, mainly just to say thank you. And I'd like to thank everybody that's brought this endeavor to where it is today, Linda and all the people that have helped over the years and all the people that have contributed. Because looking out at the crowd, this is obviously a crowd of people that care a lot about wildlife conservation, and that's what the National Wildlife Refuge System is all about. And I've been fortunate in my career to work a lot with wildlife rehab efforts in different states, in Florida, Virginia, West Virginia, and here as well. And it's really encouraging, and I want to remind folks that we have wake-up calls like what happened last year, the Gulf oil spill. I think everybody remembers that. And when I looked at the list of 22 national wildlife refuges that were directly threatened by that spill, it kind of brought home to me, because I'm very familiar with a lot of those places, and a lot of my colleagues have put a lot of their heart and soul and life and careers into those places. And it's not over yet. We tend to forget about things once they go out of the news cycles, but there's still a lot of work to be done there in relation to that. But this center and places like it throughout the country really represent, a commitment on the part of the American people. And here in Hawaii, I think it's great to have a place like this. I expect my agency, the Fish and Wildlife Service, may be one of the best beneficiaries of a place like this in the future. Our responsibilities include 22 national wildlife refuges in the Pacific out of about 550 nationwide. But as stewards of some of the most important bird nesting habitats and bird nesting colonies throughout the Pacific, the readiness that a place like this represents is really crucial to the Fish and Wildlife Service. The other thing that's crucial to us is people like you that care about what we're about, and our missions are very similar. They fit together nicely, and they complement each other. So I want to thank you all for all the work you've done already and any work we do in the future, because we're going to need you. We're going to need you all, because who knows where the next problem is going to occur. So I'm just here to thank you for that.
The $3 million center will consist of a wildlife treatment facility, an interpretive lanai, and an education pavilion. The 4,500 square foot building includes rooms for wildlife intake, holding, washing, drying, food preparation, lab work, medical treatment, and isolation. There's also an outdoor recovery yard. The Hawaii Wildlife Center will serve the Central Pacific and Hawaiian archipelago, including the largest area under conservation status in the U.S. Papahanaumokuakea Marine National Monument, where an estimated 14 million Hawaiian seabirds live. That's Big Island Video News for Monday, November 21st, 2011. I'm Stephanie Salazar.